So we'll call the meeting to order. Agenda, well, all right, so let's go right to it, right to know statement. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, as the chair of the Pemmy-Baker Regional School Board, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of COVID-19 pandemic, in accordance with the governor's emergency ordinance number 12 pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in ordinance with the emergency order, I'm confirming that we are, A, providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. For the April 21st, 2020 school board meeting, we are utilizing the Zoom meeting for this electronic meeting. All members of the Pemmy Regional School Board have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting through dialing the following phone numbers: 929-205-6099, 620-462-974, number sign, number 40194, number sign, or by clicking on the following website address, which is the HTTP Zoom website address. And with the meeting 620-462-974, password 1KFE93. B, providing public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting, including how to access the meeting using Zoom or telephonically. Instructions have been provided on the website of the SAU office, and the HTTP website for the SAU can be found in the announcements section and also at res.sau48.org. Providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there were problems with the access. If anybody has problems, please contact Principal Bruce Parsons at bparsons@pemmybaker.org. D, adjourning the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. Many public bodies are utilizing video teleconferencing technology such as Zoom to ensure the electronic meeting comply with the right to know law and any applicable due process requirements. In certain circumstances, a regular business meeting of the public body may be conducted utilizing audio-only technology. If you have any questions about the appropriateness of the technology utilized to conduct your meeting, please consult your agency counsel or the Attorney General's office. Woo! Most I've talked all week. Okay, agenda review and disposition. Any changes to our agenda?
I'm all set, Madam Chair.
Okay, approval of the minutes.
Do we need to take a roll call?
Oh, yes, sorry. You're on. Janice, you're on.
Okay. Lisa?
I'm here and I'm alone.
Roger?
I'm here and I'm alone.
Barbara?
I'm present and I'm totally alone.
Bill?
I'm here and alone.
Tim?
Here and alone?
Bernie?
Bernie, you don't have your microphone on.
How about now? Okay, here
Yes.
and alone.
Okay. Christy?
I'm here and alone.
Peter?
Here and alone.
Maureen?
I'm here and I'm alone.
Bonnie? And Sam?
I'm here and alone.
Okay.
Okay, approval of the minutes. Let's make a motion to approve the minutes from March 31st.
So moved.
It's Maureen.
Maureen.
Second, Peter.
Do you, Janice, want to do roll call on that, or?
Yep. Lisa?
Yes.
Roger?
To confirm, I think that was my first meeting. If so, yes. If not, abstain. I can't see the.
I think it was your first meeting, Roger.
Then yes.
Okay. Barbara?
I have to abstain. I was not present.
Okay. Phil?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Bernie?
Yes.
Christy?
Abstain, I wasn't present either.
Peter?
Yes.
Maureen?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. And approval
Lisa,
of,
excuse me, it's Phil. Do we have a member of the public?
We have two.
You have two of them.
Oh, I see one. Okay,
You have three? There are three,
okay.
at least. And
I had a name and a face that I didn't recognize, so, okay,
Yep.
so this is on Pemmy Baker TV too.
okay. Thank you, sorry.
Okay.
okay, any changes or are we all set to approve the non-public minutes from March 31st?
We usually do them together.
I thought of that after, yeah.
We'll go. You should approve them by roll call.
Okay. So the non-public minutes for approval, Lisa?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Barbara, you're abstaining?
Correct.
Phil?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Bernie?
Yes.
Christy, you're abstaining? Christy?
Oh, yes. I thought, sorry.
Peter?
Yes.
Maureen?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, super. Thank you, Janice.
You're welcome.
Okay, privilege of the floor. Megan Ebner, I hear you'd like to speak.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan, and I am the vice president of the senior class of 2020. And I've come to you to ask a question and state a consensus that a lot of my classes come to about the end of the year. We haven't had a chance to talk to Mr. Parsons about this yet, but I thought with all of you gathering, I'd put our ideas out there for all of you to talk about. We were hoping, as a senior class, I've heard lots of opinions and ideas from my peers, and we were hoping that the last day for seniors would be before the last day for the underclassmen, as has been tradition over the last however many years. And we'll be working through spring break, so we're hoping that the time for the seniors to be in school is ended before that of the underclassmen.
Okay. All right, so Megan, the date again, can you give me that one more time?
There's not a specific date because we're not sure, even now I'm not sure what time we're supposed to end, what date we're supposed to end. But because we're working through spring break and because seniors have always gotten out before underclassmen, there have been some concerns expressed to me that I'm relaying to you about when seniors will get out of school.
Okay, I see. Okay, does anybody have any questions for Megan?
Do we have a date yet, Mark, in regards to that?
No, we were going to do the calendar on at your May 5th meeting.
Okay.
We need to consult with the faculty by collective bargaining agreement. Also, this is relatively new to Mr. Parsons, so I think he probably will be in contact with Megan and class advisors. So we'll have an end of the year calendar recommendation for you at your May 5th meeting.
Super. Megan, did you want to share anything else with us?
Nope, that's all.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, student report. We do not have that today. Our committee progress reports will be May 5th as well. Superintendent report.
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you, and welcome to all the board meetings and members of the public who are out there. Thank you for tuning in. As you know, we're on remote learning for the remainder of the school year by emergency order of Governor Sununu. Personally, I think it was absolutely the right call given the climate that we're in and the extent that the virus is still very much out in the public. I think the teachers and students and the parents have done a terrific job doing absolutely the best they can. I want to reiterate that if any household is having an issue, please feel free to contact that individual teacher. And if you can't, certainly at the high school level, get in touch with Mr. Parsons. At the elementary level, get in touch with your local principal. We have all discussed at our level making sure that we remain as flexible as possible for families. I know this is a very difficult time in so many ways and all new. So we want to remain flexible and make the most of not a terrific situation. We just want to make sure that everyone out there knows that. I want to thank the board for allowing us to work through what was going to be our April vacation. I know that there aren't a lot of places to go, and the indication we got from the surveys that we did were people wanted to go through, by large majorities, go through April vacation and end remote learning as quickly as they could for a longer time in the summer. That actually helps us out too, because we're going to have an awful lot of work to do with re-entry plans for the building. It's not going to swing the doors open and say, okay, let's go back to normal. I'm sure that it's going to be a tiered process, and we're not sure when it'll start, but we do need to have an awful lot of contingency plans for the summer and into early fall. So that earlier dismissal is important for us. The status of finals, I know this is an important issue, and we'll discuss that later on in this agenda. We'll have a recommendation for you. Also, as I said, and when Megan addressed the board, and thank you, Megan, for coming, we will have a recommendation on the calendar May 5th, as I said to Megan. By collective bargaining agreement, we do have to chat with the faculty, and also take public input that we always look out for. Again, off to the more mundane. Our garage project is underway. All of those scrap pine trees around the area have been taken down, and the site work will get started. This project will be completed a lot earlier than we expected to, so that's very good, and I think you'll be pleased with the outcome. Budget, just briefly under my report, because it's not in discussion items. Obviously, we're doing well on the appropriation side. We're starting to look at some significant savings. The electric bills came in today, and they were delightful, quite frankly. So we should have some significant savings, and all of that will be used to go back to unreserved fund balance, unless the board wants to use it for another purpose. But we are going to try and accumulate as much of the leftover appropriations and excess revenues as we can to put toward unreserved fund balance and your retained fund balance, so that we can help out folks, because this fall's tax bill for many, I think, will be a burden. So we'll try and do the best that we can. On the revenue side, both the Medicaid and the tuition accounts are underperforming, but we've already taken steps to offset that. And Tim DeSalvo is working very hard on the Medicaid revenues to see if we can capture as much as we can now that a couple of those hiccups in the system have been taken care of. And in tuition, as you know, we just did not attract as many students from outside the district as we had previously done. So that was the reason for that. So that's my report, Madam Chair, and I'd be happy to respond to any questions.
Mark,
Yeah.
could I ask a question?
Yeah.
I got to notice that you've modified the number of days per week for the remote learning from 5 to 4.
Right.
What prompted that?
Just families were overwhelmed, Phil.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was overwhelming, and also teachers were spending an awful lot of time outside of what would be normal hours, trying to get a hold of parents very late at night and things like that. So,
Okay, yeah.
There was actually 6 groups, including the School Boards Association, the NEA, the Administrators Association, that actually came up with a recommendation that had a week very similar to the one that we designed. So everybody felt pretty comfortable following that. And my understanding, it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I had a question and someone asked me and I said, I don't know, but I'll find out. So, okay.
So there was I think a copy of that, that report that was sent out to all school board members by the School Boards Association. So if
Okay, yeah.
you may have got one from me, and you also would have got one from Barrett Christina.
So
I got one from Michelle, yes.
Yes, okay.
So could I have clarification, just to be sure I understand this? We went from 5 to 4. So to take the place, if we are, of the 5th day that we're missing every week, are we adding a week on at the end?
No, Barbara,
Okay.
that 5th day is for teachers to plan and also to work with individual students online or over the phone. It's for families to sort of regroup and say, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, and for them to catch up. And so it's really in many ways a make up, get ahead, keep in touch kind of day.
So I do understand that's sort of still a working day, but the way we're doing this, we still, I mean, under the unusual circumstances, are following what's required by numbers of hours and numbers of days in the year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Governor has signed off on it.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Yeah, are all the classes live? Can they take the classes at a different time, or does everybody take chemistry 1 at 2 o'clock on Thursday? Or
No,
if they can't make then, can
No,
they?
we have the block schedule stays, Peter. We have blue days and white days, and the blocks are the same.
Okay, and if they miss that particular block for some reason, they can't, it's not recorded somewhere saying go back and access it later at night or whatever?
Some of the classes may be on Zoom or Google Classroom.
Okay,
So there may be an opportunity to get the notes from your classmate or something.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, principal's report.
Hey, here I am. I've got all these discussion items that really fall under my domain, so if you don't mind, Madam Chair, I'll give you an update on remote learning. I'd like to piggyback on what the superintendent had just reported out, and kudos to the staff and the students. I understand their pain and their frustration. I'm in this building every day, so I'm taking calls every day and monitoring progress of what our kids are doing, what our teachers are doing. I handle many phone calls that come in, and as I go through, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions. But the updated remote learning is different for our kids. It is frustrating. One of the issues that we did that was a little different is I asked the association and the staff, whole staff, if we could extend Q3 the deadline for having late assignments turned in. We extended that date. In fact, kids have till this Friday for the closure of Q3. And we also allowed our kids to go back before the outbreak if they were missing assignments. I was really looking to minimize the amount of failures that kids could possibly experience as they were going through this type of learning. And it seemed to, it did ease a lot of concerns, and I'll report on that. But remote learning is taking place now, and as Mark had said, we do on Monday, we do the A day, Tuesday's the B day, Wednesday is the outreach for our staff and students to regroup. The teachers are available, and they've been handling that very professionally. Thursday, we come back to A, and Friday, we go back to B. And kids have been mostly keeping up with their assignments, but there is time in there for them to make it up. On Fridays, the entire staff will reflect. I get those reflections on Friday and go through on what they've done for the entire week curriculum-wise. And I also get an update from the teachers on those students that they haven't heard from. And we'll talk about that now as I go through. On Mondays, I continue to have my administrative meetings with my full administrative staff. Mark and Kyler attend those as well. And at that time, we go through the entire student body and see what kids are not performing. This week, I took all the seniors. I assigned the juniors to either Randy or Bob. And Tanya took the sophomores, and I think Todd took the freshmen. And we reached out to those families where we saw kids that were dropping off or had no contact. We do welfare checks when we have to. In some cases, I have to send the SRO out and do a check and find out if where the student is or how come we haven't heard from them. And obviously, if it's outside of Plymouth, I will contact the local town police and go through them. But I want to let you know we monitor them weekly by name, and we're going to continue looking at those kids because the failure rate, has it gone up? Yes, it has. In front of me, I have a brief report. Typical of last year, at this time, the end of Q3, when we were in full session, I had 100 students that failed at least one class. Presently, right now, at the end of Q3, but I could have some changes because kids still have 2 more days. I'm at 133, which is not that bad as we're dealing with remote learning. I have 30 students that are really having some serious issues with remote learning that we are tracking. So obviously these grades would be failures. There were 9 students in grade 9, 8 students in grade 10, 11 students in grade 11 that are in serious jeopardy of failing 4 or more classes. I have no students right now, seniors. My seniors are all strong, and I'm just going to monitor them and make sure that they don't drop off the radar for graduation and what that looks like. And right now, they're on the target for 100% success on that piece. I meet every Tuesday morning. Today we had 50 participants from around the state, 50 high school principals. We Zoom with each other, and we go through. Today was one of the topics on how do we deal with students that are not engaged, that are out there, that are on their own. And it was interesting to see, how they are handling their failure reports and what they're handling. But again, by individually calling these families, I feel we're doing as much as we can. Keep in mind, the counselors call. I know the teachers have checked in, and we've done a final piece by having the minister call that house and talk to a parent or the student. Prom and graduation, Mark and I, we don't know. We'd like to do something. What that is, we don't know, because I don't know where we're going to be, what that looks like in June or July. We'd like to definitely want to do something. I mean, we're going to do a scholarship Zoom because the packets were done by our seniors, and we got to choose those. That meeting will take place the second week in May. We'll do that on Zoom. But how those awards will be presented, I don't have that answer for you. I don't know. It will be on virtual, remote. Again, we'll have to look and see where we're at that present time. Finals, I made a recommendation after a meeting with the staff. I would ask that the board, I'm asking that we do not do finals this year. It would be one of the assessment. I don't know how the teachers would be able to navigate their way through that. So I am recommending, after I spoke with the teachers, to not have finals this year and just grade on what we've had. And obviously, the percentages would take place as regular because that goes through Power School. There'd be no problem with that. But again, one of the awards presentation, the sports awards presentation, the loss of spring sports, I can go on and on and on. I do know it's daunting for a family and our seniors. And I wish there was more we could do. I will be meeting with our seniors. I've touched base with them. I do need to meet, as Mark said, with the union and go over. I have dates. Megan, I heard you loud and clear. I know what dates you guys are looking at, but I've got to negotiate my way through that and come back and give the superintendent of the school board the best possible date I can come up with on that. But I've heard you loud and clear. Finals will be taken care of, but again, all those presentations, those ceremonies, again, I don't have that answer. We want to do something. We definitely want to do something, but what that looks like is we don't know that right now. I'd be happy to entertain any questions that people have, but again, I want to let the public know I'm in this building every day. You can call my office. To get to me is 2001. I will personally pick the phone up and I'll tell you exactly where we're at and where we're doing. Madam Chair.
Great, thank you, Bruce. Okay, discussion item. Update on remote learning.
That was my full report, Madam Chair.
Okay. Extension for third quarter grading, we pretty much, well, we covered a lot of that, so I guess, Mark, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, before we talk about finals, I do want to mention, I failed to mention in my report, but I want to make sure the public knows this. We, Dan Rossner has done a great job in running the food service program for us and working with state government, and now we have a waiver now so that any student or any individual who lives in the district up to the age of 18, it has the opportunity to receive a free breakfast and lunch for no charge. And so that's a terrific opportunity. It came with a federal program that was released by the president. And so we're very grateful for that. So if anybody, it's on the website, Madam Chair, if there's anyone out there that's not taking advantage of this, and this applies not only to our students, but homeschool students, students who are in charter school, anybody that's out there that lives within the Pemmy-Baker district, or Ellsworth or Waterville Valley, any of those school districts, they get in touch with Dan. We can get those meals out. I think they go out, I think 3 days a week. There's 2 days with 2 meals and 1 day.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yes.
Yeah. So so that's available. Yeah. Mr. Parsons did discuss with me the difficulty of the finals, and I agree with you and the faculty. I think we waive finals for the end of this year. The grading issue sorts itself out just by our school running the percentages of the work that has been completed. So I would ask the board to waive finals for this school year due to the health emergency that we're under right now.
Would you like a motion?
Yes, please.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All right, so Barbara, Phil, and seconded by Barbara. Janice?
May I ask a question? Bruce and Mark,
Janice,
have you guys talked about like kind of like a possibility of incompletes instead of failures for students?
For the quarter?
I mean, I guess for the quarter or for the end of the year. I mean, I don't know. I just heard that come up in different conversations, and I wasn't sure if that was something that was on the table or not. Just curious.
Well, Christy, we've worked with the faculty to get this 2-week extension. We don't want people failing. That's the number one concern. At the same time, folks have got to be held accountable for the work. These are 4-credit courses, which is a little bit different than our K-8 schools. So Bruce and the faculty have extended for a 2-week period the opportunity to make up any incompletes, and that period ends any zeros. That period ends this coming Friday. So we'll take a look at those grades. I think the principal and the teachers all have the opportunity to place an incomplete in there if they feel that's justified. I know there are students with medical issues and other issues. And so I know that Mr. Parsons looks at all the grades before they're actually released. So I think their discretion plays an important role in that. In terms of just a flat out policy of, say A, B, C, or incomplete, we haven't discussed that.
Not for quarter 4.
Not for quarter 4, right.
For quarter 3 we have. For quarter 3, it'll be numerical like we're doing. Quarter 4, I have to have a discussion with staff. I mean, the governor has recommended pass fail. Again, I need input from the staff.
Yeah, we could be recommending pass fail, incomplete, or we could stay. But Bruce needs to have that discussion with the faculty.
Yeah, are you, do you have plans for summer school at all?
There are plans, there's funding in place, but we have no idea what it's going to look like, to be honest with you. I really, Maureen, am sort of waiting. I'm hoping the governor has signaled that the 3 northern counties may be treated a little bit differently than the southern tier. And we're certainly hoping that there's a little bit of flex. We can handle social distancing pretty well in buildings, particularly for something like summer school. And if folks are still nervous about that, we certainly can do an online piece. But we do want something available. The other part of a reentry plan, Maureen, is what are we going to find in the fall in terms of how students are, what they've missed, and this is this is $1 million question. So I'll be working with Tyler Welch, who's the new superintendent, come July 1st, but we will be talking about an overall reentry group or committee, because we've got to coordinate medical services, food services, busing. All of those things are just not going to be done the way we used to do them. So it's a task, but the long and the short of it is we hope to have something for summer school.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make up your mind. Okay, so yeah, we have a motion on the table.
Do the roll call now?
Yes.
Okay, Lisa,
Yes.
Roger,
Yes.
Barbara,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Bernie,
Yes.
Christy,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Bonnie,
Yes.
Sam.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have anything else?
No, thank you very much.
Are there any other questions from the board regarding any of these? We just sort of listed them out. Any of those other questions are on the topics that were listed on the agenda?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm wondering if where else in the state, what other ideas people are doing for graduation?
Mr. Parsons?
They're all over the place. They're talking about families coming in cars, and the principal and the superintendent coming out to greet them, inviting one family at a time into wherever the ceremony happened, either the lecture hall or gymnasium. There's the online piece, the technology piece. I think Nashua already came out and they're going to do that. They're going to stream it. Some of the schools are talking about, what they did in Annapolis. They had the open ceremony with no guests. I don't know how that would work here. That field we don't have gates and that stuff to be able to make sure that no barriers are broken there. They're all over the place, Maureen. They all want to do something. They're talking about August. They're talking about Thanksgiving. Keep in mind, I spoke to the kids. A lot of the kids, I got kids going into the military, and I don't know what the college is going to be like in August or whatever. So it's like, as Mark had spoken before, we definitely want to do something, but what that piece is, we don't know. I mean, again, we've got ideas and we'll come back. We do want to have some sort of ceremony. I don't think anyone's come up with the perfect scenario, right? They were all over the place today. I'll have those printed out for you and sent out to you, show you what some of them are thinking. And some of them are pretty wild. But again, they don't know where they're going to be in that particular time.
Okay, thank you.
Opinions, like we all do, but we also want to be safe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mark, I had a question. Any updates on our sending elementary schools? Anything that you think we need to know?
They'll be looking at ending dates, and I think they're looking at the June 5th, I think, is that Friday, the first Friday in June, with the April vacation being worked through. I think that's the dates that some of the elementary boards are looking at. I know Wentworth approved that at their meeting, and but those are discussions for individual boards. I'd like them all to finish either the same day, with the exception of the Valley, who actually started school after Labor Day. So the Waterville Valley Board obviously will come up with their own ending date, given that they didn't start school until after Labor Day. So right now that's where it is.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions or concerns? Okay, so no board member concerns. I guess we'll, no privilege of the floor for the second. We'll make a motion to go into non-public.
There are some folks out there, Madam Chair. I don't know if there are any questions, but there are some folks who are not members of the board. They're members of the public. I don't know if they have any questions.
Hi, Ann.
Hello. I was just signing in today because I have a senior who is struggling with the loss of his last semester, and so there's nothing to complain about. But I just wanted to make myself available if there's anything that parents can do to help to organize something, or anything that we can do for our seniors where you need an extra pair of hands. Sign me up. I'm willing to help in any way that I can. And that's really my main reason for coming tonight, other than to hear if there were any updates.
We appreciate that, Ann. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So let's see, can we have a motion to go into non-public?
I'll make a motion.
Bonnie and Barbara. Janice, if you could do the roll call, please.
Madam Chair, for the public's notification, this is for personnel. We have two candidates. No, this is still public. We have two candidates for nomination for faculty positions, and that's the reason we're going into non-public session.
Okay, so a non-public session will consist of nominations. Thank you, Mark, for clarifying that.
Okay, Lisa,
Yes.
Roger,
Yes.
Barbara,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Bernie,
Yes.
Christy,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Bonnie,
Yes.
and Sam.
Yes.